Good morning, everyone. Welcome back into North Dakota today. And Mondays on the show can only mean one thing. We are joined by the author of North Dakota Nice blog, Amanda Kosher. What are we talking about today?
Hello, good morning. Thank you.
Good morning.
I'm so happy to be back here. I've been gone for 2 weeks. We were just talking about this. And so I have so many good stories for January. I'm excited. Starting with two of my favorite topics, children doing cute things, which I love. And then the other one is people who have discovered North Dakota and realize that it's awesome here. Okay, so my first one is Stutsman County is where Jamestown is. And Roosevelt Elementary School in Jamestown, before Christmas break, decided to love bomb the local first responders.
Oh my goodness.
I know. So the whole school, look at these little children.
Aww.
So they created cards and little gift packs of candy, and they gave them to ambulance, fire, dispatch, and the whole school got into it. It wasn't just a couple of kids. The whole district this year has made it a challenge to how can we help honor and celebrate our first responders and the people in our county who do good things. And so look at these little sweet faces. I actually found these cuties on this whole thing because I follow the Stutsman County Dispatch Center on Facebook. And a guy named Andrew hand draws all of their weather announcements.
Oh my goodness.
And they're amazing. Here he is right here, holding his card. He hand draws everything, and they're the best. Like, I know the weather in Jamestown all the time because I hope everybody goes out and follows them. So I love that kind of thing. I love starting the year off with elementary students and kids. And they made a little video. I'll put the video on my website after this. And I asked, I said, you know, did they just do it because it was a little project before school? And they said no, the kids loved it. They were so proud of themselves. I'm so happy to support the first responders. They did a segment of learning on first response, and so I think that's just wonderful. My father-in-law was a 30-year volunteer fire chief, and I don't think he ever got love bombed. He got fire calls. So I think he would have liked some candy and some cards.
Yeah. Well, I was going to say, too, what a worthy group of people to receive this. You know, our first responders are so important to our communities, especially in these small communities. A lot of them are volunteers. So
exactly.
This is really excellent.
And I don't think dispatch especially gets a lot of love. I don't think people are sitting around going, I wonder what they're doing today. Should we help them out?
Yeah.
So I think it's great. I love it.
Yes, definitely.
All right. So now let's pivot to Crosby. Okay, Angela and Tom Carter live in Crosby, and her mother-in-law lived in Phoenix, Celia, and one day Celia called and said, do you have an extra bedroom? Which is always a question with a lot of loaded components to it, and especially for Angela and Tom because they care for their adult son. And of course they said, yes, we do have an empty bedroom, which I'm not sure I would be as kind as that. And they brought, so her mother Celia, their mother-in-law Celia is 86 years old, and her rent was being raised. Here's Celia here. And so they said, all right, well, we're going to bring you from Phoenix to Crosby, and you're going to live here with us. And the community of Crosby was like, we are going to welcome her with open arms. She had to leave a lot of things behind. It was just not feasible to move everything. So they filled up her entire bedroom. They outfitted her room, and then she's actually in a wheelchair, and they built a wheelchair ramp.
Oh my goodness.
And so the church, when they started getting ready to, church and some of the businesses decided to build the wheelchair ramp, they ordered all the materials at the lumber yard, and when they went to go buy it, somebody else had actually paid for it.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, so they fitted out her room. One of the women in the community knitted her a prayer shawl, and Angela said her mother-in-law was so overwhelmed that she cried for 3 days because she always thought that this kind of like unconditional kindness was just for the movies. And so I love when people get to experience North Dakota nice for real and are surprised by it. She said that her mother thought she was moving to the middle of nowhere, so she was surprised that there was even a hospital.
Oh, yeah.
When I was in college, I had somebody ask me if we had running water and electricity. I said, yes, only in the barn. So it's wonderful. Actually, Celia had the picture that you saw before. She had a stroke right when she moved here and was in Minot for 3 months. And when she moved back, she taught herself how to read and write and crochet again. Look at her. Here she is crocheting. So welcome, Celia. Thank you to the Crosby community for welcoming her. I hope everybody has a long and happy life in North Dakota.
Oh my goodness. Well, what a beautiful story.
I know.
That's
Aren't
amazing.
I love things like that. I think the nice thing about small community, I mean, Crosby's not small, but smaller communities is that it's not even part of the lexicon that we need to help people. It's just like, oh, you need some help? I will help you. You know,
Yeah.
like, oh, that's no big deal. Just here's a couch and here's a wheelchair ramp. I mean, no big deal.
I feel like it's almost intrinsic in those small communities, and you know,
Yes.
North Dakota is very nice.
It is very nice. And but I think you're exactly right.
Yes.
Everybody helps one another.
So how did you find that story?
That was submitted to me.
Okay.
And so I found the Stutsman County story, but I've had stories you can submit to me, and I have a whole bunch coming up. So please keep them coming. Tell me about your friends. You can do it on northdakotanice.com or on Facebook or Instagram at ndnice.com. And there's no story that I won't love. So send me whatever you got.
Well, wonderful. Thank you so much for joining us this morning, Amanda.
Thank you, Sophie. I'm so happy to be back.
Yes, well, we're always happy to have you.
Thank you.
All right, everyone, stick around because coming up on today's show, an exciting event is coming to the FM area. We have more details after the break.